emphasized the need for a female leader, stating that men have had sufficient opportunities, but the desired results have not been achieved. She urged Ghanaians to give CPP a chance, especially after successive government failures.
When men have tried something, and clearly they are not able to get to the point where they want to get to, it is women who come to their aid. So all we are asking Ghanaians today is to consider the Convention People's Party's policy of industrialization, the Convention People's Party's policy of putting the human development and the welfare of every single individual at the center of every policy. That is why listening to me would have an allocation, 20 million Ghanaians, including the blind people, the rich people, the poor people, the lame people, those who can walk, the smart, not so smart, no age boundary. Every Ghanaian would have access to 20,000 Ghana allocated to you. The idea of the money is to industrialize the nation.
A committee chairperson of the Convention People's Party, Hajia Shafuta, emphasizes that despite having ample opportunities to govern the country since 1992, the NPP and the NDC have failed to bring about meaningful change and therefore should be shown they exist.
You should understand, from 92, we've been voting NDC, NPP, NDC.
Political party, let me take you to the Elephant Party, because the New Patriotic Party has accused the National Democratic Congress of devising the secret plans to hinder government business as outlined in a confidential document. This move is seen as a deliberate attempt to disrupt the government operations and undermine its ability to deliver on its promises. Now, speaking at a press conference on Wednesday, October 23rd, the NPP Director of Communications, Rachel Dahiagba, alleged that the recent standoff in Parliament is part of broader strategy devised by the National Democratic Congress to win the election 2024.
The members of Parliament on our side, that is the majority side, have yet again demonstrated the MPP's belief in and fidelity to the rule of law and violent. That is what the NDC means when they say they want a so-called reset. Moving on to the NDC's document to win the election 2024, which I've just shown you, our verifications show that it is a legitimate operational document of the National Democratic Congress. In other words, it's not a fake document. It's a true document, a document the NDC has been working with since January 7th or 8th. Stability, democracy, and political ethics. The secret document goes beyond the ordinary strategy or action plan you would expect a political party to operate with. This secret document is a deliberate ploy by the NDC to hoodwink Ghanaians. In other words, to dupe Ghanaians of their vote. And unpatriotic means.
The Executive Director of the Center for Democratic Development, Ghana, CDD, Professor Kwesi Prempeh, has sounded a warning bell about the state of Ghana's political parties. He believes that these parties have lost sight of their core purpose, morphing into election-winning machines rather than policy-making bodies. This shift in focus undermines the country's democracy, prioritizing political interests over the needs of the people.
The Friends of Akoto Ampao's first public lecture was under the theme, The Crisis of Civic Citizenship in Contemporary Ghanaian Democracy. Speaking at the event, Executive Director of the Center for Democratic Development Ghana, Professor Kwesi Prempeh, underscored the pivotal role of political parties' participation in strengthening a country's democracy. He stressed that the actions of
Nigeria would say, you have to show that you have nurtured the constituency. Do you understand what that means? Nurtured the constituency as a requirement for becoming a candidate in the party. It means you must have spent money in the preceding 4 years taking care of the party executives and the gatekeepers who are going to make it possible for you to become a candidate. Right? Now, how is that going to encourage many young people, many women, and people without means, but who have serious civic interest? How is that going to encourage them when you have a party system like that? It shuts out a lot of people.
Professor Prempeh expressed his concerns about Ghana's attitude towards protest, emphasizing the need to allow citizens to protest to strengthen and sustain the country's democracy.
It is in the long-term sustainable interest of our democracy to unfreeze these parts, especially citizen protest. We must take a very hard look at our attitude towards citizen protest, because the more you prevent young people from venting, when you don't have options for them, the more things bottle up. I think we should allow protests as much as we can, as long as we script it. And it's done in other African countries. I was in Dakar before the elections, not a single billboard, because they opened the election window a few weeks before election. Ghana has a 4-year election window. The moment you lose election, your billboard stays because you are waiting to come back. It doesn't go anywhere. Right? So
a nationwide strike initiated on October 10th, 2024 to protest illegal mining in the country. After deliberation by the National Executive Committee, UTAG decided to temporarily call off the strike, citing significant demonstrations of commitment from the government to address the environmental crisis. The strike, which gained widespread attention and support from the Ghanaian public, aimed to compel the government to ban mining and prospecting activities in the forest reserves, farms and water bodies. UTA concerns stem from the devastating effect on Galamsey on the environment, particularly its impact on water bodies, forest reserves and agricultural lands. And coming up on the program, the Ghana Manganese Company is poised to embark on historic $450 million project. You're welcome back to the program. Remember, we are streaming all across the world on Facebook at Globe TVGH. You can join us with your thoughts and comment. In business this morning, the Ghana Manganese Company, situated in Insuta in the Western region, is poised to embark on a historic $450 million project to establish the country's inaugural manganese refinery. And this groundbreaking initiative marks a significant milestone in the mining industry, paving the way for increased economic growth and development.
The project, which is part of the vision of the company to transition from the exportation of the current low-grade carbonate manganese to high-grade through value addition, is being undertaken by the Ghana Manganese Company in collaboration with its majority stakeholder, Tanjung Manganese Industry Group, a Chinese company. The first phase of the project, estimated to cost $240 million, will be completed within 2 years and will involve the construction of a 45-megawatt natural gas power plant and a mechanic power transmission refinery. The second and third phases will take the total investment in the refinery to $450 million. This came to light when the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Bujinapo, led a team of experts from the Ministry and the Minerals Commission to learn firsthand the operations of the company.
And as you know, Ghana Manganese has been in existence from 1914 and is metamorphosized from one species to the other, and today is Ghana Manganese Company, owned by TMI. And indeed, we've had to visit today because we have gotten to a very momentous and consequential stage of transitioning from Ghana Manganese mining and exporting raw manganese for more than a century today to where we are going to have our downstream in the side linkages and all of that, which is going to create jobs, which is going to generate wealth and prosperity for the local communities here and beyond in our country, which is going to bring in a lot more revenue. And so this is really a big deal. This is a major breakthrough for our country. Now, it's happened through if I may say, months and almost a year of hard work, real hard work.
The managing director of GMC, Yogen Ejindal, said the company was committed to making the necessary investments that would facilitate the transition to value addition.
This is a step in the right direction of starting our refinery project. The value addition is key for our operations, our long-term future operations. We're growing our reserves. Mr. Ampung, the general manager here, is doing a lot of exploration. So we have a good resource, a good life of mine. And now with the refinery coming, and the minister mentioned the salt cutting, we're very proud. This is an enormous importance.
Finance and Ministry of Chieftaincy topping the list. To tackle this, Imani Africa's Denise Asare announced a collaborative effort between political parties and civil society organizations to establish an independent monitoring body.
Overall, we need a stronger fiscal council. Even though the one that we had was just a committee, but all the political parties agree that we need a fiscal council, which means that let's take this opportunity to properly set up a fiscal council, let it be legally backed, but above more things, give it more power so that they can be able to do. Talking about the low revenue mobilization, there are still a lot of uncollected revenues that the Auditor General keeps citing as a reflection of weak revenue enforcement. But what is also important is that we are also able to see that these irregularities represent at least more than 2 times of how much we spend on.
In the outcome of the election, Pennsylvania is the biggest prize with 19 electoral college voters. Now, according to tracking data from the election lab at the University of Florida, nearly 25 million voters have already cast their ballots either through in-person early voting or mail-in ballots.
With less than 2 weeks to go until the November 5th election, nearly 25 million U.S. voters have already cast ballots, either through in-person early voting. In remarks there, Trump joked about recording his conversations.
I want to tape every conversation. The problem is then I start thinking about Richard Nixon did that, and I say, you know, let's do without the tape. We'll do without the tape.
Meanwhile, Harris on Wednesday seized on recently published comments by Trump's former White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly. The New York Times on Tuesday quoted Kelly as saying Trump met the, quote, general definition of fascist, and once told him that German Nazi dictator Adolf Hitler, quote, did some good things, an account Trump's campaign denies. Harris said the comments showed that Trump was too dangerous to once again serve as president.
He said he wanted generals like Adolf Hitler had. Donald Trump said that because he does not want a military that is loyal to the United States Constitution. He wants a military.
My colleague Robert Konya from our sports desk looking all glory with the latest development from the world of sports right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
And also, there will be an FA Cup game between Kintampo Top Talent and also Kwasiame Auchireme Soccer Academy. That game will be live on Globe Television. Former coach for the Black Stars, James Akwasiapia, has been nominated for CAF's Coach of the Year award. Remember, he is currently with Sudan doing a lot of magics with their national team. And also on the foreign front, I will give you results from the UEFA Stars. Bechem United will battle Karela United, and also Baseke Holy Stars against Asante Kodoko. Young Apostles at the Wanchi Sports Stadium will play Dreams FC. Hearts of Lions will host Nswatreman. Adriana Sporting Club will play against Mediama. Now let's take a look at the games that will be live on the various channels on your TV. We have the game between the Gon Cities and Accra Lions, and also Hearts of Oak, Bibiani Gold Stars, Baseke Holy Stars, and Asante Kodoko. All these games will be live. Adriana versus Mediama will be on this very channel, Globe Television. Now let's take the Women's Premier League. That is the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League. Those games also, most of them will be on your screens. Police Ladies against Army Ladies will be live. And also Soccer Intellectuals against Hazakas Ladies. Faith Ladies will play Lady Strikers. Berry Ladies against Jonina Ladies. Halifax against Epiphany Ladies. These are the... So take note, These are the games that will be coming live on your screen. Now let's move to the CAF Awards, where Coach Akwasi Appiah, the former Black Stars head coach, who is now in charge of the Sudanese national team, has been nominated for the Men's Coach of the Year. He's been doing a tremendous job with the Sudanese national team. Also, let's move to the nominees for the Men's Player of the Year. The Men's Player of the Year nominees are surprisingly Brahim Diaz could not make it to this list, but we have the likes of Ashraf Hakimi, Simon Adingra of Ghana, and also John Entry of Ghana. These two guys also made it into this list. Now let's look at results from the match day 3 of the UEFA Europa League. Manchester United drew 1-1 at the Sukru Sarakoglu Stadium against Fenerbahce. And right from day 1, we had Sporting Club de Braga losing to Bodo Glimt. Galatasaray defeated Elfsborg. We have Ferencváros 1, Nice 0. Frankfurt defeated RFS by 1-0. Maccabi Tel Aviv lost 2-1 to Real Sociedad. And also Midtjylland defeated Union St. Julius. PAOK Thessaloniki against Victoria Pleasant. That game ended in a 2-2 draw. Ajax away to Karabakh won the game by 3-0. AS Roma 1, Dynamo Kiev 0. Anderlecht defeated Ludogorets by 2-0. Athletic Club de Bilbao 1, Slavia Praha 0. Fenerbahce against Manchester United, the game was 1-1. Lyon lost to Besiktas at home, and also Malmo were defeated by Olympiacos. FC Porto 2.
Welcome back to the program. We take a recap of our top story. The Electoral Commission said it has no plans to introduce new constitutional instrument to Parliament before the 2024 general elections.